And welcome to the post-game Lindy Sports Coach's Corner. I am the coach Dick Cox coming to you from Death Valley in Clemson, South Carolina with a wrap-up of today's Palmetto Bowl. Two teams coming in that are bitter rivals. The University of South Carolina takes on the Clemson Tigers. Clemson has won the last 7 games these two teams have played. And again, our heavy favorites coming in with a 14.5-point favorite. But the South Carolina Gamecocks came in off a big-time win over the Tennessee Volunteers in what may have been one of the biggest wins in program history. The fans stormed the field after the game, so South Carolina came in with a little bit of momentum. But everybody was giving the Gamecocks absolutely no chance at all. Well, if you were a betting man and you bet on the Gamecocks, you made a lot of money on this game. The Clemson Tigers took the ball early in the game and intercepted a Spencer Rattler pass and ran it back for a pick 6 to jump out to a quick 7-0 lead. On their first offensive possession of the game, they drove down and scored and quickly went up 14-0 in the ball game. And again, everybody's thinking at this point, same old South Carolina, they have a big win the week before. Everybody has high expectations and they come in and don't do anything. Well, this is a new South Carolina generation right here. And these guys came in with something to prove. After getting down 14-0, Spencer Rattler drove his team down for a touchdown. And before you knew it, South Carolina was back in the ball game. South Carolina trailed by as many as 9 after that score, and were actually down 9 points at the half. But the Gamecocks came out and totally dominated the second half as they held Clemson to 86 yards of total offense and held Clemson to only 13-yard passes. As a matter of fact, the worst game in Clemson quarterback DJ Uiagalelei, and again, I know I butchered that name, but the worst game in his career as he was 8 out of 29 passing, with 1 interception and 1 touchdown. And again, the big thing was 59 of those passes, 59 of the 99 came on 1 play. But Spencer Rattler shook off early pick 6, had a big game for the Gamecocks. He was 25 for 39 with 2 interceptions for 360 yards and 2 touchdowns, and had a school record long touchdown of 72 yards to Juice Wells. When it was all said and done, the Gamecocks were able to kick a field goal early in the fourth quarter to go up 31-30. And a lot of people said, this isn't going to hold up. This isn't going to hold up. Guess what? It held up. Special teams for the Gamecocks were once again very special teams. Again, their punter, Kai Kroger, had 7 punts on Saturday, and he averaged 53.7 yards a punt. Had a long punt of 63 yards, but more importantly, he pinned Clemson inside their own 20 with 5 punts that were down inside the 20, so the Tigers never got any decent field position, though. But the Gamecocks, again, forced 2 fumbles on special teams, and the Gamecocks recovered. And I guess it was a little poetic justice, a lot of people said, that on the final punt of the game, a recruit that South Carolina had heavily gone after from Dutch Fork High School was Antonio Williams, had a crucial fumble on the final punt, which would have given Clemson one final chance at maybe a field goal to see if they could come out victors. But South Carolina pounced on the ball, ran out the clock, and the Gamecocks defeated the Clemson Tigers and thus beat 2 top 10 teams the final 2 weeks of the season. Never been done before in Gamecock history, but South Carolina knocked off number 5 Tennessee last week, knocked off number 8 Tennessee this week. So the Gamecocks proved to themselves, hey, this is a different team. This is a new generation. This is the new Carolina. And again, Shane Beamer has done a great job as the Gamecocks finish the regular season with an 8-4 record. Projected right now to beat possibly Notre Dame in a bowl game, which would be great though. But the Clemson Tigers are left scratching their heads right now. Again, a lot of people have felt all year long Clemson being ranked so high was way overranked, and felt too that the ACC was probably the weakest of the Power 5 conferences. So people thought Clemson has not played anybody this year. They have not played anybody. And the argument was made if they played in the SEC that they would just be a mid-pack team, though. Well, the Gamecocks did their part to try to prove that today. And again, South Carolina snaps a 7-game losing streak to the Tigers. And again, comes up with a huge win, though. It will be bowling season. Clemson goes on to play North Carolina in a championship game of the ACC championship the next week, though, in Charlotte, though. But South Carolina will sit back and wait for their bid and see who they'll be playing for the holidays, though. So the Gamecocks finish on a high note. The Tigers still have got one more game to play, but South Carolina, again, knocked 2 teams out of possibly making the college football playoffs that were right there in the conversation. The Gamecocks killed their dream. So the people in South Carolina are saying the Orange Crush is the new drink of the New Carolinas. Reporting for Lindy Sports and Cox Sports Broadcasting, I am the coach, Dick Cox.